North Korea made a sudden peace overture to the South, proposing yesterday an end to all hostile acts and slander toward each other. Nominee for Education Minister Kim Myung-soo is engulfed in plagiarism allegations and suspicions of having students ghostwrite his news columns. And the validity of Yoo Byung-un's arrest warrant expires this month, but he remains on the loose. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Tuesday, July 1st. I'm Luke Clary. North Korea yesterday made a sudden proposition to the South to put an end to all hostile acts and slander toward each other. Attention has been drawn to what Pyongyang's ulterior motive might be, as the proposition comes just days before the Chinese president's visit to South Korea.
North Korea's National Defense Commission made an unusual proposition to the South. Pyongyang proposed that the South and the North stop all hostile acts toward each other starting July 4th to mark the 42nd anniversary of the July 4th Inter-Korean Joint Statement. The North urged the South to halt slander and all hostile military actions, including joint South Korea-U.S. military exercises, and instead take substantial steps toward reconciliation and cooperation.
우리의 특별 지안에 화답하여 과감한 정책적 결단을 내려야 하며 새로운 미래를 향하여 큰 걸음을 내짚어야 할 것이다.
Pyongyang's attitude contrasts sharply with its recent actions, such as Scud missile launches in Kim Jong-un's presence and other provocations. Observers say Chinese President Xi Jinping's upcoming visit to Korea triggered Pyongyang to make the proposition. Pyongyang is apparently trying to maintain its grip on the Korean peninsula by showing Beijing its effort to improve its ties with Seoul in line with the Chinese government's request.
한중 정상회담을 앞두고 한반도 문제는 한국과 중국이 주도하는 것이 아니라 북한이 주도하고 있다는 것을 보여주려는 의도가 담긴 것으로 분석합니다.
Seoul said Pyongyang's latest proposition is no different from its so-called grand proposition that was made back in January. Nonetheless, the South Korean government is closely analyzing the factors behind. However, some say that the North's proposition could become a breakthrough in the inter-Korean relations, which have been showing the signs of improvement lately.
Nominee for Education Minister Kim Myung-soo is engulfed in suspicions that he plagiarized other authors' works in writing his theses submitted for promotion. He's also suspected of having his students ghostwrite news columns on his behalf.
This is a thesis Education Minister nominee Kim Myung-soo submitted in 2002 for his promotion as a full professor at the Korea National University of Education. The thesis was acknowledged as a research achievement. The part criticizing the exam to select new teachers is the same as a master's degree thesis written by a graduate school student, but Kim did not reveal the source of the quotation. In presenting measures to reform the exam, the central topic of the paper, he used direct excerpts from two other articles. Having taken content from the works of three different authors for his own paper without revealing the sources, Kim is being accused of plagiarism.
이렇게 표시를 하는 경우가 많고요. 무표기로 갖다 쓰는 거는 그거는 연수가 라이터는 안 되는 거죠.
Suspicions have surfaced that Kim also plagiarized other authors' works in writing 4 theses submitted for promotion on 2 separate occasions. The nominee is also suspected of having his students write newspaper columns on his behalf. A former student of the candidate claimed in an open letter that Kim made his students write some of his newspaper columns in his stead. The student said that he and his colleagues had even held a meeting to discuss how to turn down Kim's demands, as they were pressured to write his beliefs, not their own, in the columns. The student went on to claim that he and his colleagues were also made to lecture at undergraduate classes for Kim. The nominee said that he will dispel all the allegations surrounding him at the parliamentary confirmation hearing.
The ruling and opposition parties continue to square off on the issue of overhauling confirmation hearings. Here's more.
The ruling Saenuri party is clearly perplexed by the flood of accusations targeting Education Minister nominee Kim Myung-soo. Kim is being accused of plagiarizing his theses and embezzling research funds. Representative Lee Won-gu said in his interview that from the public standpoint, approving Kim's candidacy would be wrong if he indeed plagiarized his thesis and if other accusations are also true. But he added that rather than jumping to conclusions, the allegations against Kim must be checked at a confirmation hearing. The Saenuri Party is also urging that confirmation hearings be overhauled because currently they focus too much on exposing candidates' problems.
십몇 년 운영하다 보니까 그동안에 나타난 그런 좀 문제점들을 좀 긍정적인 차원에서 보완하는 게 어떨까?
The New Politics Alliance for Democracy reiterated its call for Kim's resignations by saying that it's more important to choose the right person rather than change the way confirmation hearings are held.
제자 논문을 상습적으로 가로채기 하지 않은 교육부 장관 후보자가 왜 없겠습니까?
The opposition camp is also demanding that the president apologize to the public for her failed designations of prime ministerial candidates. The floor leaders of the ruling and opposition parties discussed ways to improve confirmation hearings at a joint meeting, but failed to bridge their differences.
Efforts to search for missing passengers of the ill-fated Sewol ferry will continue in July. Victims' families are demanding that the government introduce more effective search plans.
A government briefing on search plans for missing victims of the Sewol ferry was scheduled on Monday, but the government had to cancel the briefing in the face of opposition from victims' families. The bereaved families called on the government to devise more effective plans, deeming the existing ones unsatisfactory. The government search and rescue headquarters presented two major search plans for July. The government said it will remove obstacles on the fourth floor at the stern by July 8th. It would then have Coast Guard, Navy, and civilian forces double-check the areas that had already been searched. The government also said that it will introduce stronger measures to prevent the loss of bodies by rains and typhoons. In the case of storms, search ships will take shelter at the nearest port and return to work as soon as possible. However, the bereaved families said that the new measures are no different from the previous ones and that the government has failed to reflect the families' specific demands. The victims' families and search and rescue experts called for the introduction of a rebreather, which enables divers to stay longer underwater. They also want the government to examine which areas the bodies are most likely to be found and to adopt measures to conduct search operations even in inclement weather.
항상 불안과 두려움에 떨고 있고 가족들이 요청해야 되는 이런 상황 굉장히 안타깝게 생각을 하고 있기 때문에 좀 더 적극적으로
As requested by the bereaved families, the government will run an advisory and evaluative body on search operations as soon as 5 experts are selected as its members.
The validity period for Yoo Byung-un's arrest warrant expires this month, but authorities have yet to find him. Meanwhile, a person close to Yoo charged with helping him escape has denied the charges in court.
The arrest warrant for Yoo Byung-un will remain valid until July 22nd. Prosecutors obtained a 2-month arrest warrant for Yoo, which is quite unprecedented, but they have yet to find his whereabouts. About 20 days are left before the validity period expires. However, no one knows if he will finally be apprehended. If his arrest warrant expires before he's caught, the prosecutors can choose 2 methods: request another arrest warrant for Yoo or suspend his indictment. If they decide to request another arrest warrant, they're left with no choice but to maintain a large team of investigators amid the bleak prospect of finding Yoo. In situations like this, the authorities usually suspend indictment first before requesting an arrest warrant. But in that case, prosecutors acknowledge their failure to finding a fugitive, which means that not only the investigators but the high-ranking officials as well can be held accountable for the failure. That's why the prosecutors are facing a difficult dilemma. Meanwhile, Hemato-centric Foundation chairman Lee Jae-ok, who had been indicted for helping Yoo Byung-un to escape, denied the charges during a trial that was held yesterday. He denied that he masterminded Yoo's escape. He said he only escorted Yoo to his ranch in Suncheon and suggested that the fugitive hide in the homes of one of his religious sect members in Mokpo.
North Korea's national archery team will train in South Korea ahead of the 2014 Asian Games, which will be held in the South Korean port city of Incheon. The North Korean team will come to the South for training at the order of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. The visit is expected to have positive effects on inter-Korean exchanges in the sports field.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un visited an archery field in the Mangyeongdae district of Pyongyang. He inspected the archers' training and offered them some instruction. The North Korean national archery team, consisting of about 10 members, will visit South Korea for training late this month. It is part of the team's preparations for the 2014 Asian Games, which will be held in the South Korean port city of Incheon. The North Korean team's on-site training is reported to be at the direct order of Kim Jong-un.
먼저 현지에 가서 같이 합동훈련을 할 수 있는 팀으로 양궁이 선정이 됐는데 7월 말에 한국에 들어가는 걸로 확정된 걸로 알고 있습니다.
The training costs will be covered by the Olympic Council of Asia. The Olympic Council of Asia entrusted the organizing committee of the Incheon Asian Games to run training programs for some Asian countries ahead of the event. The council will pay for the training of 30 Asian countries that have sports contracts with the organization.
북한에다가 그 전지훈련에 참가를 요청을 했고 북한은 양궁에 대해서 보낼 의사를 보내온 거예요.
A South Korean government official has stated that the North Korean archery team's training in the South is in line with international customs.
The age of children getting hooked on smartphones is getting younger, according to a study conducted by the Ministry of Gender Equality and Family. The number of heavy smartphone users has fallen among teenagers, but the figure is up by 30% among elementary school students since last year.
Some 180,000 students in elementary, middle, and high schools nationwide have been found to be at risk of smartphone addiction. The Ministry of Gender Equality and Family surveyed 1.56 million students in 4th, 7th, and 9th grade. The survey has shown that the number of elementary school students showing symptoms of smartphone addiction has increased from around 10,000 in 2013 to roughly 13,000 this year. Smartphone overuse among middle and high school students has fallen, but the situation is reversed among elementary school students. This indicates that children get addicted to using smartphones at an earlier age. By gender, teenage girls were 1.6 times more likely than adolescent boys to be heavy users of smartphones. Roughly 110,000 girls were overusers, while only 70,000 boys were. There were also more than twice as many girls than boys in the high-risk user group. High-risk users have trouble engaging in their daily activities and show symptoms of withdrawal when refrained from using their mobile phones. This result stands in stark contrast to internet addiction. There were 1.7 times more male teenagers addicted to online games than their female counterparts.
웹툰, SNS뿐 아니라 게임도 여학생 취향의 것들이 많이 나와 있기 때문에 여학생들의 스마트폰 사용이 굉장히 급증하는 걸로 보여집니다.
The ministry plans to run programs in which parents would get involved in treating teenagers' mobile phone addiction.
Actress Che Lim's beau, Chinese actor Gao Zhiqi, asked her hand in marriage in public in downtown Beijing last Saturday. In other showbiz news, we look forward to an international music festival in Gangwon province.
A man sings Korean crooner Shin Sung-hoon's I Believe in awkward Korean and hands a bouquet of red roses to actress Che Lim. The man is the popular 33-year-old Chinese actor Gao Zhiqi. This romantic proposal took place at 5 in the afternoon on June 29th in the middle of a busy commercial district in Beijing with hundreds of passers-by looking on. Che Lim and Gao became romantically involved when they appeared together on a Chinese TV show. Their wedding is to take place in October. The Great Mountains Music Festival in school used to be a summer event held in the great outdoors of Gangwon province. But starting in 2016, the international event is to be held in winter as well. The festival organizers said the change is part of preparations for the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics in 2018, which aims to be a cultural Olympics. Starting in January 2016, classical music lovers will get a chance to enjoy great concerts in the middle of winter. The historical epic drama 정도전 concluded last Saturday. The much-acclaimed show's star Jo Jae-hyun chose a low-budget art film directed by Chung Soo-il as his next project. Jo will leave for Paris, France on July 10th to start filming for the movie.
Rich in dietary fiber, unpolished brown rice makes you feel full and satisfied. The grain is also good for preventing chronic diseases. Here are some tips on eating brown rice in an easy, healthy, and tasty way. This is a buffet restaurant in Seoul. The dishes look ordinary, but a secret is hidden within them. All of them are made with brown rice. From rice cakes called tteok and a traditional Korean cold drink, the table is full of foods made with brown rice and vegetables. Some frequent customers tell us why they like the restaurant. The consumption of brown rice has jumped 20% from 2 years ago as the grain's healthy benefits have been highlighted. The soaring popularity of brown rice is also clear in the instant rice market. The sale of pre-cooked instant brown rice have surged fivefold. A nutrition science professor explains in detail the health benefits of brown rice.
현미는 백미에 비해 식이섬유가 3배 정도 많이 들어 있습니다. 또 혈중 콜레스테롤을 낮춰주는 식이섬유와 혈관 건강에 도움을 주는 불포화 지방이 풍부하기 때문에 고혈압, 동맥경화, 심장병 같은 혈관 질환의 예방에도 효과적입니다. 특히 현미의 싹을 틔운 발화현미는 거칠고 딱딱한 현미의 단점인 보완되고 영양은 더 뛰어나 성인병 예방에 탁월한 것으로 알려져 있습니다.
A culinary expert says she herself experienced the health benefits of brown rice, eating it as part of a dietary program to treat her chronic skin disease.
6살 때부터 26살 때까지 건선이라는 만성 피부 질환으로 굉장히 오래 고생을 했는데요. 현미 채식을 시작을 했고요. 그 이후에 한 1년 정도 시간이 지나서 건선도 완치가 되었고 배변 활동도 편해졌고 또 전체적으로 몸이 가벼워져서 생활하는 데도 되게 만족도도 높고요.
Brown rice is especially good for women. The whole grain has an anti-aging substance. Desserts made with brown rice are a healthy treat for your stomach. The unrefined rice is also good for dieters as it makes you feel full with small meal portions. Here are some of the best recipes for cooking brown rice. First, choose quality brown rice. The grain is best served within 2 weeks after processing. Don't forget to check the processing date, as fresh rice tastes better. Many people don't like brown rice because of its coarse texture.
현미밥이 건강에 좋다고 해서 한번 지어본 적이 있는데 제가 시간 조정을 잘 못했는지 제가 뭘 잘 모르는지 밥이 좀 거칠고 딱딱하더라고요.
These tips will help you cook brown rice better. Brown rice should be soaked in water for more than 8 hours, or you can boil it to make it tender before cooking. For cooking brown rice, use 20% more water than for white rice. When you use an electric rice cooker, turn it to brown rice mode. Pressure cookers are good for making brown rice soft and tasty. Sprouted brown rice tastes softer than ordinary brown rice. A good bowl of brown rice is ready. How does it taste?
예전에 먹었던 현미밥하고는 완전히 다르게 부드럽고 그리고 쌀밥보다 훨씬 고소하고 맛있는데요.
It is also good to make brown rice tea. Stirring the grain on low heat is enough for brown rice tea. Pour hot water into the parched brown rice to enjoy a nice cup of grain tea. Brown rice helps you stay young and healthy. Enjoy the grain's benefits to the fullest. Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Have a great day.